What if I told you that the single biggest threat to your retirement has nothing to do with picking the wrong stock and everything to do with the risk your advisor has probably never mentioned? I'm the person at dinner who ruins the vibe by asking, okay, but what happens if the market drops 35% right when you stop working? I do it with a smile, but I'm serious. I've seen what will be okay turns into when the screens go red. Here's the problem: most retirement plans are built backward, and they start with the portfolio and hope the income works out. But retirees don't fail because they picked the wrong fund. They fail because they took a catastrophic loss in the first 5 years of retirement, and nobody built a shield around the income they couldn't afford to lose. If you've ever lain awake thinking, do I have enough? Will it last? What happens to my spouse if something happens to me? You're not alone, and you're not wrong to be worried. You're just missing a plan that answers those questions with math, not hope. Imagine knowing, not hoping, knowing that your essential income is protected no matter what the market does. Imagine your spouse being completely taken care of without having to figure anything out. Imagine investing your growth money with confidence because the foundation is already secure. That's what we built. It's called the Asset Shield approach, and it's the core of our framework: plan, protect, prosper, which leads to the work optional lifestyle. We don't start with performance charts. We start with the income you can't afford to lose, and we protect it first. When you work with Eagle Harbor Advisors, you get three things nobody else gives you in this order. First, total clarity on your income gap, the exact monthly dollar amount your portfolio must replace. Second, a protected income layer that doesn't depend on market timing. Third, a growth portfolio you can invest with confidence because the paycheck is already secure. Without this structure, you're one bad year away from making a decision you can't undo, selling at the bottom, cutting your lifestyle, watching decades of work evaporate because nobody thought to separate what you need from what you're growing. The industry calls it sequence of returns risk. I call it the retirement killer, and it's entirely preventable. A few years ago, a woman walked into my office. She'd just lost her husband. He'd handled everything. She had a brokerage account, two old 401ks, an annuity she didn't understand, and a life insurance check she hadn't deposited because she didn't know where to put it. She sat down and said 5 words: I just need to be okay. That conversation changed everything for me. It's why we do what we do. One of our clients, a business owner who sold his company for $8 million, told me after his first meeting, I've never had this much money in my life, and I've never been this scared. 6 months later, after we built his asset shield, his wife said something I'll never forget. For the first time, I actually sleep at night. That's the outcome we build for. The data backs this up. Research from the Journal of Financial Planning shows that a 30% market decline in the first 2 years of retirement can reduce portfolio longevity by over a decade. The traditional 4% withdrawal rule, it was built for an average market. Retirements don't happen in averages, they happen in sequences, and the wrong sequence destroys plans that look perfect on paper. I hold the CFA charter, the gold standard in investment management. I'm also ERISA 338 qualified, which means I take full fiduciary responsibility for investment decisions. I'm not an order taker, I'm the quarterback. Forbes has recognized our firm among the top advisors in Florida, and Advisor Hub named us advisors to watch. But what matters most is the phone calls I don't get from clients who used to panic when the market dropped and now don't, because the plan is in place. Here's exactly how the work optional lifestyle blueprint works. Step one, we do a complete financial inventory: every account, every policy, every asset. Nobody has ever seen your whole picture until now. Step two, we calculate your income gap, the exact monthly amount your portfolio must generate for the rest of your life. Step three, we build the asset shield, a protected income layer that funds your essentials regardless of market conditions. Then we consolidate your scattered accounts, deploy a growth portfolio, coordinate your legacy plan, and provide ongoing stewardship. 7 steps, one team, complete accountability. Let me show you what this looks like. On the left, protected; on the right, growth. Your essential monthly income, housing, healthcare, taxes, the non negotiables, comes from the left. It doesn't touch the market. The right side, that's your growth engine. It compounds for the long term because you're not raiding it for this month's mortgage payment. That separation is the entire strategy. Simple to understand, sophisticated to build, impossible to replicate with a robo-advisor. You didn't spend 25 or 30 years building this to lose it in a downturn. You didn't build it so your spouse would have to figure it out alone. And you didn't build it to spend your retirement watching CNBC with your stomach in knots. You built it so you could live. The Asset Shield lets you do that. Before I tell you how to work with us, I want to give you 3 things you can act on right now, whether you ever become a client or not. These are from my book, Plan, Protect, Prosper. And they're the 3 moves I'd make today if I were sitting where you are. Calculate your income gap. Take your desired monthly retirement lifestyle income. Subtract Social Security, any pension, any guaranteed income. The number that's left, that's your income gap. That's the number your portfolio must fill every single month for 25 to 30 years. If you've never calculated it, you've been planning in the dark. Open a blank page. Write down your desired monthly income. Subtract your guaranteed sources. Circle the gap. That's your planning anchor. Separate your needs money from your growth money. Right now, most of your money is probably in one big pile. That's the source of your anxiety. Separate it mentally into 2 buckets. The money you need to live on for the next 3 to 5 years, and the money that has 10 plus years to grow. The first bucket needs to be safe. The second can afford to be aggressive. That one distinction changes everything. Multiply your monthly income gap by 36. That's a first pass target for your protected bucket. Write it down. Tip number 3, build your tax map. List every account in 3 columns: taxable, tax deferred, and tax free. Then ask yourself, if I needed $25,000 a month after tax, which column would I pull from first, and why? If you don't have a confident answer, that's a major source of uncertainty and potential savings hiding in your plan. Make the 3 column list. Estimate the percentage of your investable assets in each. Bring it to our call. Those 3 moves will put you ahead of 90% of retirees. But if you want someone to actually build the structure, the asset shield, the growth allocation, the legacy coordination, the ongoing stewardship, that's what we do. Here's how. If what I've described sounds like the plan you've been looking for, one that protects first and grows second, then I want to invite you to take one step. Book a free discovery call with me. It's 20 to 30 minutes. No pitch, no pressure, no obligation. Here's the reality. I can only take on a limited number of new planning clients per quarter. We don't scale by hiring junior advisors. I'm personally involved in every engagement, so the calendar does fill up. And once it does, the next opening may be weeks away. On the discovery call, we'll do 3 things. First, identify your real risk, not generic market commentary, your specific failure points. Second, clarify what work optional means for you and your family. Third, decide the next step, whether that's working together or simply walking away with more clarity than you had before. Step 1, click the button below and book your discovery call. Step 2, you'll get a confirmation email with a short prep list, your monthly spending, a list of your accounts, and your top 2 questions. Step 3, we'll meet for 20 to 30 minutes and I'll give you a clear, honest assessment. Step 4, if it makes sense, we'll move into the work optional lifestyle blueprint. If it doesn't, you'll still leave with a clearer path. So let me recap what you're getting. A 20 to 30-minute discovery call with a CFA, charter holder, and fiduciary advisor. A clear-eyed assessment of where your plan is strong and where it's exposed. The beginning of the 7-step work optional lifestyle blueprint. And my book, Plan, Protect, Prosper, shipped to your door at no cost. Click the button below right now and book your discovery call. Don't let another quarter go by carrying that uncertainty. The discovery call is free. The book is free. The Tier 1 engagement, the financial blueprint, is a 90-day planning engagement at a flat fee that gives you a complete financial inventory, your income gap analysis, your asset shield recommendation, an investment policy statement, and a retirement readiness scorecard. Everything you need to know exactly where you stand. Bonus 1, a 1-page money jobs map that organizes your accounts, business cash flow, and real estate into a simple operating system. Bonus 2, a sequence risk checklist you can use to evaluate any retirement proposal in under 10 minutes. Bonus 3, priority access to my weekly newsletter and podcast episodes that break down protection and tax-aware decision-making in plain language. Click the button, book the call. Let's get you from uncertain to protected. Here's my guarantee. If you leave the discovery call without more clarity than you had when you walked in, I'll personally apologize and send you a case of coffee. That has never happened, but the offer stands. Look, you've watched this far, which tells me something. You know you need a better plan, not more information, not another article, a plan, a team, a structure that lets you stop worrying and start living. That's what we build at Eagle Harbor Advisors. If you're thinking, I already have an advisor, that's fine. Consider this a second opinion. If you're thinking, I'm not ready yet, I'd ask, what are you waiting for? Another year of uncertainty? If you're thinking, this is going to be a sales pitch, it's not. If I can't help, I'll tell you. I'd rather keep my integrity than gain a client. You've spent decades building wealth. Now it's time to protect it. Plan, protect, prosper. That's the framework. That's the promise. Let me show you how it works for your family. After you book, you'll hear from me within 24 hours with a confirmation and a short prep checklist. No big homework assignment, just three things: your monthly spending number, a list of your accounts, and your top two questions. That's it. We'll do the heavy lifting. 6 months from now, you could be in one of two places. You could be right where you are today, successful but uncertain, carrying the same questions, watching the same headlines. Or you could have a written plan, a protected income layer, a growth portfolio working for you, and a fiduciary team that calls you before you have to call them. The only difference between those two futures is the decision you make in the next 60 seconds. Book the call now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because the uncertainty you're carrying has a cost. It costs you sleep, it costs you confidence, and it costs your family peace of mind. If the timing feels wrong, I get it. But let me ask you this: when will it feel right? After the next market correction? After another birthday? The best time to build a plan was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. I take on a limited number of new planning clients each quarter because I believe in depth, not volume. Once the calendar fills, the next available window moves out. I don't say that to pressure you. I say it because it's true. You built something remarkable. Now let's make sure it lasts. Let's make sure your spouse is protected. Let's make sure you can golf 4 days a week, or start that nonprofit, or take the trip, or simply sit on the back porch with nothing on your mind. That's what a real plan gives you. That's what we build. The button is right below this video. Click it, pick a time. I'll see you on the call. Plan, protect, prosper.